Hey everyone, Pastor Adam here, and I have some very exciting news to share with you. By God's grace and kindness, we bought a building in Belltown. Now, since our earliest days as a church, we have prayed for an opportunity to purchase a building downtown, a permanent place that would serve as a gospel outpost for generations to come, so that as many people as possible would hear of the life-changing, soul-thrilling news of the forgiveness of sins and hope that is found in Jesus alone. A permanent place to worship God and teach the Bible and share the gospel and make disciples and train leaders and plant churches and love our city to life without worrying about when our next lease might be up or where we'd gather next. But finding that building has been an incredible challenge, as many of you know. Seattle is one of the most expensive real estate markets in the country. Developers, of course, have ample cash on hand. Nearly all of the buildings that once belonged to churches have been torn down or repurposed. There just aren't very many options. In fact, at one point we were told that we need to move out of the city in order to find a building. So we've gathered in apartments, conference rooms, building foyers, movie theaters, former dance clubs. We've held our Sunday gatherings in 10 different places in the last 10 years. We've even made multi-million-dollar offers on 6 different buildings, but lost each one. Put simply, we've searched high and low for a permanent home in this city, but have come up short every single time until now. After 13 months of waiting and negotiating and thinking we lost it and then waiting more, we now have a building in Belltown. Securing a building in this city at this time is a miracle. This is God's doing, not ours, and we want to be good stewards of it for His glory. A permanent home is another step towards fulfilling our vision of becoming a faithful gospel presence in our city for decades to come. This building has 27,000 square feet, which is almost double the size of our current space. After renovations, we will be able to have up to 700 people gather in our sanctuary. We'll have more space for classrooms and counseling and offices and kids and youth and for holding regional training events. It will give us a greater ability to serve our city in meaningful ways. It's also easier to access from the freeway, and it's located in the most densely populated neighborhood downtown. And because it has a small meeting hall already, it's already coded for assembly, and we even have a covered parking lot that's thrown in, all of which is happening within the shadow of the Space Needle. So think of this building as a stage for God's unfolding story in Seattle. Now, as you can imagine, buying and renovating a building in downtown Seattle is expensive. While we are certain that God is going before us in this unique opportunity, it will require all of us to participate financially for it to become a reality. Now, it's going to take some work to get it ready for a church to call home. We've already hired an architect and design team, and we hope to begin construction this coming summer, and then move, Lord willing, in the spring of 2022. By God's grace, we're not starting at $0. Through years of faithful giving of DCC members and supporters, we've saved nearly $5 million for this exact moment. Now, we've already used 2/3 of that as the down payment on this building and plan to use the remainder for future renovations, but we will still be short of what is needed to prepare this space to be our future gospel outpost. So our goal is to raise an additional $2.5 million to prepare our new home for generations of gospel ministry. Therefore, we've created the Onward campaign as a tool to help us achieve that goal together. So here is my ask. Will you prayerfully consider partnering with us in this project for the onward spread of the gospel in our city? Brothers and sisters, this is a miracle of God's grace and kindness to us, so let's steward it well. We are part of God's unfolding story in our generation, in our beloved city. Let's be faithful to that call. And may our good and gracious God use our collective generosity and sacrifice to bring Him glory and our city everlasting joy. Love you all.